Hey there crafters, I am here to share with you the 24-day countdown to Christmas. This is a new project that I have joined my friend Tracy Bish from Australia, and we are both demonstrators of Stampin Up that are going to show you some fantastic activities, projects, cards, gifts, all sorts of things in the next few weeks. Please make sure you are following along by subscribing to both of our channels and to press the notify button so that you can see when each project is being posted. So today it's day one. I am starting off with day one, and this is a card that we're going to be doing. Here we go. It is a floating Christmas tree. Okay, it is done in real red and very, very pretty with all the highlights of gold. So we are going to get together every single day from Monday to Thursday. Please make sure you follow along with us and join us in the chat if you are there for the premiere. Let's get started. I do apologise. This is a voiceover. I haven't actually, something went wrong with my audio, so I've had to do that a second time, so I do apologize. We are using the colors Real Red and Garden Green. We have quite a few stamps here that all sort of coordinate out of the mini catalogue. Most of it is actually from the traditional Christmas as well. Now we are going to grab some acetate as well. Now that one can either be from a piece of acetate sheet, or it can be a piece out of our cards, out of our stamps. So we have pre-cut some of this. We are using the oval shape, which is out of the Florals Impression, I think it's called. This is where the center basic white section is going to be where our floating Christmas tree is going to be. So we do use that acetate, and we are going to measure that. The measurement here ends up being, let me grab that card for you so you make sure that you get the correct measurement. So our little triangle that we're going to cut from the acetate is, let's see, it is 7.5 centimeters high, and we started off with it at 6.5 centimeters wide. So then we cut that from the center down to the first corner, the right hand corner, and then we do a second cut from the top down to the left hand side corner. This gives us a slightly tall triangle for this. Now the acetate sheeting, like I said, some of it comes out of our stamping cases, and some of it, that's like a protective piece of plastic that goes with our stamps, or this comes with acetate sheeting that you can get from the store. So I'm going to pop my oval shapes to one side, and I'm going to use a whole heap of little tiny strips. Now I'm talking not even 0.5 centimeter. Okay, and these ones here are going to be adhered in really random order all over this acetate sheet. So I've used a variety of them, of these colors, Most of them are from that DSP from the suite, the traditional Christmas suite, and a couple of sheets of Real Red and Garden Green cardstock. So this is really random. There is no particular order, and you'll see that I actually let a lot of it hang off the side. I do trim it back at the very end. Now the gold in this particular suite is gorgeous. If you have not got this already, I would grab it. I know last time I checked, some of it was already out of stock and people were waiting for that to come back in. So if you do see it, grab it. Of course you could use a different type of DSP, but this is particularly pretty this year. You can see that also I have been adding a few other sparkles and things as well. So we have got the sparkling sequins that I've got sitting here on my desk, but I've also used gold foil cardstock that I am going to use for the center border of that oval shape. It's quite a intricate but fun and messy project, this one. It comes together without any instruction or, well, what I'm trying to say is I really love the fact that it's random. Just try to make sure that you have some of that acetate that is still not covered. So this is the whole idea of it being floating. We will add some dimensional dots to this, and those dimensional dots allow it to sit up off the page, and you can see through the tree itself to the background. Our next step is to use that basic white background, and that background I'm just going to ink it with the garden green ink. So I use a blending brush for this. I know people use a whole heap of different tools to do this. I like to do this very gently with the brush. I don't overload my ink onto the brush either. Now you can see another piece of that very thin sheeting that comes out of our stamps. Now this little piece of plastic is where it saves your desk from getting so messy. So I have one which I've mentioned in many videos of mine, that I have added a little Velcro dot to it, and I've put on one of my magnetic frames, I've got another dot of Velcro dot, so that's where mine hangs so that I don't lose it. So you can see there, that is our little tree, and you can see through it, and I'm going to add my dimensional dots. Now the reason that we've done quite a lot of that crisscross is so that you can hide your small pieces of our dimensional dots around the back of it. I am using the outside pieces to cut very thin strips, and those strips will then be able to be put behind all of our strips from our tree. It just gives that dimension, but without having to worry about little hexagons being hidden behind everything else. To move on to our next step, once we've added all of these little strips, is we're going to put them in the center section that we've just inked up with the garden green. So in order to do that, just don't put it down and press it too hard. That will mean that it's not adhered completely until it's in exactly the same, in the right spot that you want it to be. Then you can push it down and it doesn't move as much. So to put the rest of this card together, which I had already pre-cut, we had the real red cardstock, and then we had this piece of the DSP that I did use to cut the center using exactly the same dies that I did cut the gold foiling and cardstock and the basic white as well. So to put the very, very thin gold cardstock oval, this is quite tricky. So if you don't have the ability to put very tiny dots of glue onto your frame, I would suggest either adding a tape, like a running tape, which we have called a stamping seal, or you can actually adhere it with other anything else that you want, is what I'm trying to say. The glue is easy. If you use one of the there's some micro glue bottles that you can, and it's like a little needle that you can buy those and put the glue into. They are quite handy too. I just find that I have the ability to glue that in the little dots very, very small. Make sure that it's not going to get all over the place. I do tend to get very sticky hands. Now we're adding another layer of our dimensional dots. This just really makes it pop out. This is going to go in the center here. Now, what I love about this particular die is that those impressions bloom, I think it's called impression dies, it really has that gorgeous frame around it. It just really makes a real touch to it. So we are going to use the Keeping Traditions stamp set. Now this one here is traditionally what we would have probably used in our scrapbooking. No, I think I'll change my mind. I think I'm going to use the traditional labels. So the traditional labels set of sentiments. I'm going to use my Real Red, which I do tend to avoid using a fair bit on the photopolymer stamps because it does stain the ink, but that's stain the stamps with the ink, but that's okay. So I have chosen today's. Today's is Tis the Season. I'm just going to grab some white cardstock that I've just cut a little strip, and that one there is where I'm going to stamp this sentiment. And then I'm going to cut it to size and put those little banner edging on either side. So I'm just going to show you that I can move it across a little bit and stamp my sentiment down. Now I probably would like that a little bit smaller, so I think I'll cut that one down using my trimmer. Now I have to admit I use my trimmer for most of the cutting. Some people do use their scissors for small things like this. I can never get a straight edge, so I do tend to use my trimmer a lot. If you don't own a trimmer, particularly a Stampin' Up trimmer, you're kind of missing out. So whilst it's great to have all these other different tools like scissors or a ruler that you can cut along a line, it really is much easier, and this particular trimmer by Stampin' Up really does give you a perfectly straight cut every time. So putting the banner endings on them, we're just going to go up the center, and then we're going to go from corner to the center and then corner to the center. So it just gives it nice and even because we've already got that middle section noted down or made a mark where we're going to go to. So these cards are a part of our 24 days of Christmas projects. There are so many that Tracy and I have put together. These ones really, this is a good start, but there are cards that are flat. They're like today's. There is fun folds, there is small gift boxes and other kinds of gift packaging. And then at the end, I think you'll find we may even have a surprise of a scrapbook page or two. So if you are, like I've said at the beginning here, you do probably get the best out of this by following along, by subscribing to both of our channels so that you can be notified of this. We're going to attempt to be in the premiere in the chat every single day. And so you can join us and craft along with us too. You can have a little chat or ask questions in the chat as well. So please let us know that you are there if you are joining us. And if you are missing out and you see the replay, leave us a little comment there too. All right, we are finishing ours off. I have these gorgeous sparkling sequins. I love the colors in this, and they do match in beautifully. I have used quite a few on this because I'm going to pretend like they're little baubles hanging off my tree just to finish it off. And I'm going to add at the end of this, I think I'll add a giant, or one of the larger gold ones at the very top. Tracy will be joining us tomorrow with a great little project. We'll see you then.